episode, I want to discuss with you some very important questions, especially for class 9 and 10. And that is, we are going to talk about the period of 1857 to 1858 in Assam. That is the revolt which took place in support with the 1857 revolt, which are also known as the first war of independence. That one I'm going to discuss with you. And so please be with me, and we will go back to the history of Assam, which is so important for us to know. And thank you very much. From the very beginning, I would like to say thank you very much for viewing, for subscribing, and also for your comments. And it has been really helpful to me. Some of you know me personally, some of you are in the same place where we live, and some of you are very far away from me, and all of you have really helped me to find subjects, thoughts, and other things by which I can really share with you all. I remember last Saturday, early in the morning, 6 o'clock, I was checking my mobile, the messages plus the Instagram and whatever I could lay my hand on to. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, suddenly I got a call from my cousin brother who is in England. It was a surprise to me. Satish Kisku. His name is Satish Kisku. He gave me a call at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I was thinking, if it is 6 o'clock in the morning in India, it must be quite early morning, around 12:30, 1 o'clock or 1:30 in England. And I was really surprised that he had called me that late for him in the night and that early for me in the morning. But then I realized that, like elsewhere, all over the world, there are so many people who are in their homes. And staying in the home so long, it really troubles you. You become very lazy, then the time has no meaning for you now, because every end in the night you find that you are either doing something which you have never done before, and that really is something. For a little while watching television and doing that thing becomes interesting. But now, since all the games, all the movies are so old ones, you don't get to see the games, the live ones. So even the gaming period also has become very boring. And all my football leagues and UFC started, and it was a good one I watched. And it was really interesting to see one of the athletes, a very young man. He won the title again. I cannot remember exactly his name, but really he was a great man. And all these things have really come to an end, the live events. And the older games are being telecasted, and it becomes a little stale and boring, because how many times will you watch the repeated telecast? So staying at home has become boring, and we feel like as when we'll be able to go back to our normal activities. And so my cousin brother, he is at home, and I think he's enjoying his extra holidays that he's having. But then there are a lot of other things, issues also are there regarding staying at home and how to look after ourselves. Plus, when you read and listen to all these kinds of news regarding all this, what is going around the world, you also feel very, very discouraged and disappointed. I have been quite busy myself. I got homeworks, making lesson plans and doing that, and doing little bit of flower gardening, taking out the weeds which are growing. and I listen to a lot of music. I like music, so I listen to all types of music, and just to occupy myself, I do all these things. Today, when we discuss about the revolt which took place in Assam in 1857, in the end, I will discuss only these causes of the revolt of 1857. And after the explanation of this question, I'm going to show you a little preview. Or I can't say preview, I have to say past view, the old memories of the year which had begun with such a great events and whatnot. Suddenly, March 16 closed everything down. But I am going to show you, it has been put up by one of our great Sir Rajesh Kes. He has sent it out in the teachers group, and from that group I am going to show you what the school life was just before the lockdown period. A mixture of things which we all participated in. There were games, there were competitions, there were outings, there was a lot of things took place just before the school began, and we did all those things. So I'm going to put that in the end for all of us to reminisce the memories of what the year looked like and how the year will look maybe when the school days are back again. So let's come to the lesson, and that is why the revolt of 1857 took place in Assam. Why the revolt of 18? That means it says, the question says, briefly discuss the causes of the revolt of 1857. Briefly discuss, it says, and the marks are around 3 to 4 marks. So let's do this. Now, during that period of time in Assam, it was not Assam, it was Ahom. This King Purandar Singha was ruling. He was ruling, and suddenly the company, that is East India Company, had demanded extra over taxes, imposed exorbitant taxes on this Ahom king. To pay back the taxes, he started to collect from the peasants, the people who lived in his kingdom. And he also did not take less. From the peasants, he started to collect more. Means he asked double or triple to them. One reason was one of the factors which caused many of the peasants to leave the kingdom of Ahom under the Purandra Singha, and they had to flee away to different places away from that area where the king was ruling. So what happened? In their places, in their land, in those areas where these peasants used to do cultivation and all other things, the East India Company invited European traders, European planters, and the European planters started to set up tea gardens. They started to set up their small tea gardens all around Jorhat, Tijpur, all those areas where Ahom king was ruling. That was the second reason. And the third reason here it says is that the policy of employment. Now the policy of the employment of the Britishers were what? They were bringing workers from Bengal, Kolkata, to do their work in Ahom. Now, son of the soil, the people of Assam were deprived even to get job in the company under the British. So naturally, these reasons really challenged the public and the Ahom king who was ruling at that period of time, because even the aristocrat, those who used to feel that they were the divans or they were just under the Ahom king, those people who were just ministers and all, they also started to realize that the British now are coming and they are taking away everything of us. We also are not getting jobs in the East India Company. The Bengalis are being brought from Kolkata and our employment also is stopped. So they also felt that there was a need for revolt in Assam. First we see the grievances of the peasants. The peasants were very unsatisfied because they had to pay double the taxes. And there were a lot of taxes. There were grazing tax, then there housing tax, then mandir tax, or whatever tax. ने टैक्सेस दे करके भी वो लोग का कुछ बचता नहीं था. तो इसलिए पीजन सब क्या किया, अपना ज़मीन जायदाद छोड़ करके वहाँ से चल बसे कि चलो हम लोग दूसरा जगह जाएंगे, वहाँ पर टैक्स देना नहीं पड़ेगा. तो ज़मीन को छोड़ दिए. और ज़मीन छोड़ने के बाद ब्रिटिश आकर के उसमें अपना अपना चाय खेती लगाने शुरू कर दिए. ये बहुत बड़ा समस्या हो गया. जो पीजेंट्स, जो देहात, जो कमज़ोर वर्ग के आदमी सबका ये ऐसा हालत ख़राब हो गया. राजा जब पूर्वनंद सिंहा राजा था, उसका तो हालत ऐसी ख़राब हो गया क्योंकि उसको टैक्स देने के लिए पैसा नहीं मिल रहा था. जब टैक्स देने के लिए पैसा नहीं हुआ तो ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी उसके ऊपर चार्जेस, उसके पास हर समय कुछ ना कुछ दोष निकालते थे कि कब जल्दी से ये आदमी यहाँ से, ये राजा को हम लोग बदल सकेंगे और असम को वो लोग रूल कर सकेंगे. यहाँ पर 3 मेन आंसर्स है causes for the revolt of 1857. Number 1, grievances of the peasants, and number 2 is those राजा, मिनिस्टर, ये सब का घर का आदमी सब के लिए काम नौकरी ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी देने बंद कर दिए. सब लेके आते थे बंगाल से लेकर के वो लोग को आकर के काम, जो भी ऑफिस का काम है वो काम में बैठा देते थे. तो यहाँ का जो असम अहोम का जो राज्य का आदमी सब थे, उन लोग के लिए काम मिलना मुश्किल हो गया. तो ये लोग भी गुस्से में आ गए. और थर्ड बात है कि एम्प्लॉयमेंट पॉलिसी जो ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी लगाया असम में कि वो लोग बाहर से लेके आने के लिए यही समय हम लोग पाते हैं कि 1857 the whole India was on the path of the first war of independence. When the rebels in India declared Bahadur Shah as their ruler and made him to sit on the throne of Delhi, this did not please the Britishers or the East India Company so well. Plus, when we come back to the Assam's history, we find Maniram Dewan's name mentioned here. Now, Maniram Dewan was also a very educated, well-literate person in Assam at that period of time. He also was working. He was working not in a good or high post, but even then, he was in a service. Plus, he was also a great influencer, a very broad-minded, liberal-thinking man who wanted to take the yoke of British and throw them away. So what he did, that he went to Kolkata to meet the company people or the East India Company and tell them to put Khandar Peshwar. Khandar, sorry, if I cannot pronounce the name, it is Khandar Peshwar Singha to sit on the throne. He went with a petition कि खंडर पेशवर को सीट में बैठा देना, और ये पेटिशन जब ब्रिटिश ने पाए वो लोग इसको रिजेक्ट किए और देखे कि मनीराम देवान का कुछ आइडिया अलग है. जब वो कलकत्ता में था, when he was in Kolkata, he came to realize that the whole India was fighting for the freedom, 1857. So while he was in Kolkata, he also started to write letters to his friends in Assam, especially to Khandar Peshwar, that all over India they have been starting this revolt against the British. We also should do something in Assam. Unfortunately, his letters and to his followers and to his friends, whichever he wrote from Calcutta, was caught. Since it was caught, and when they read the letters, they came to realize that it was all against them. So the Britishers immediately caught him in Kolkata, put him in Alipur jail, plus his friends who were in Assam, many of them, those who were helping, those who were trying to motivate and gather mass support, or who were maybe small-time workers, they all were caught. Some of them were hanged and some of them were released, or some of them were sent to different places of the country so that they will not get involved in the revolt of 1857. Though the revolt of 1857 in India was a great success, but in Assam it did not succeed much. It was like as soon as Maniram Dewan, Khandar Peshwar and Pioli Borua and others were hanged, the revolt of 1857 just literally died. It literally died because there was no mass support. And those questions, those part of history, in the next episode I will discuss with you. But in the end, I want to show you a very interesting video, pictures, which has been sent to me to show what life was, how enjoyable it was to be students, to be teachers and to be administrators. And suddenly when we find all these things, we find that we are really missing some very important part of our life. Especially the young boys and girls, you are missing some of the most important part of your life due to this pandemic, which has created untold miseries, tragedies, hardship, sadness and things in our life. So I hope when you watch and go through this video, the pictures, you will remember the days gone by and you will have a quick jhalak of the things that you did and what could be more, could have been better and more exciting. I think this small video that you're going to watch will really recall back all your memories of the past just before the coronavirus closed down the whole system of the whole world.